This and every episode of REKT Podcast is brought to you by Beaksy Exchange, an upcoming cryptocurrency exchange built in collaboration with One Market Data. Beaksy is bringing legacy finance speed, power, and sophistication to crypto for the first time. With 225,000 transactions per second per pair, comparable to NASDAQ, 15 order types on day one, with 25 order types on full rollout, and a dedicated customer support team, Beaksy is setting itself apart from the competition. Check out Beaksy today at Beaksy.com and pre-register today at Beaksy.com/registration to get your free Beaksy Exchange tokens. That's Beaksy.com, BEAXY.com.
I'm Josh McGruff, and this is REKT.
Hello and welcome to REKT Podcast. I am Bunchu Betts alongside my two wonderful hosts and REKT companions, Cynthia and Chamber. Cynthia, how you doing today?
I am doing well. Everything's good in the hood with my child army over here. We're good.
You got your child army going. You're good in the hood. Just
they're locked in the basement trading as we speak.
Right, your paid group.
Yes, yeah.
And Chamber, as always. Chamber, how's it going, buddy?
It's a good day. Monday's done. We're recording a podcast, so that always makes me feel better after a hard Monday of working.
Is that what we do on Mondays? Work hard?
That's what we tell our bosses we do, yes.
That is absolutely correct. And alongside a very special guest, one we've been waiting to have on for a while. You know him from Twitter, Mr. Josh McGruff. Josh, how you doing?
I am doing good. Thank you very much for the warm introduction.
Absolutely. So let's kick it off right here really quickly. So we actually are recording this on, like we said, Monday, and today is one of the observations of Veterans Day. So we actually have the honor of having a former Navyman on, Josh. So happy Veterans Day to you, and thank you for your service. We've actually had, I think you are at least our third.
The third, yeah, for sure.
At least our third former veteran that we've actually had on the show. So,
we support the troops.
Yes, REKT Podcast supports the troops. So shout out to our buddies. Obviously you, at Crypto Chris Walken, at SoCal, and I think Chapo. But
I want to say Chapo too. I think,
but I'm not confirmed on that one. I don't remember.
So halfway, thank you for your service, John.
Yeah. So thanks for whatever. Thanks for being you. If not, but
yeah, why not?
I'm sure you do something that's nice.
Yeah.
If not, we'll have a Chapo day later.
Yeah, absolutely. So we definitely, wanted to wish you a happy Veterans Day.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you on this day. So, and then, the other thing, Chamber definitely and I wanted to mention too, we actually had a sad bit of news today, the passing of legendary Stan Lee. So he passed away today at 95 years old. He's a pretty epic figure in the
full life.
Book. Yeah, a very full life.
You can't ask for much more than 95, but it's still very sad.
Yeah, he's half the Twitter sphere has animated characters as their dang avatars. So I'm sure there's a bunch of comic book fans out there that we'll be remembering Stan Lee today. So
I mentioned a fun fact to you earlier today, Bunchu.
And I also shared this sentiment.
I told Bunchu, he had texted me that Stan Lee had died. I'm like, no. I'm like, fun fact about me, I thought Stan Lee was Asian until well into my 30s.
Think it was a relation to Spike Lee?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? No,
I don't see it. I don't get it.
It's because his name, to me, he looks at least a little bit Asian. I don't know.
Funny.
I would say, and I made this argument with my wife today, he looks more Asian than Tommy Chong, and Tommy Chong is half Chinese.
All right, I
rest my case. Well,
I told you, I just didn't really know what Stan Lee looked like until I was forced against my will to watch an episode of Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, that's too bad.
He made a where he made a cameo, and obviously he's known for his movie cameos as well. So,
yeah.
But anyway, we digress. So let's get started. So, Josh, we like to kick these off with asking our guests kind of how they got into the crypto scene. How did you become Josh McGruff on crypto Twitter. Where did you start in crypto, and how have you gotten here?
Sure. So I actually started in terms of Twitter as Potato McGruff when I was still hiding behind a Doge avatar.
I remember that.
And I was the old CEO of Doge, and I'll get into how that story started too. But the initial, I was at work. And I was in a Telegram channel with just some dudes that, I played games with and stuff like that. And someone was telling us that SegWit was about to be activated on Litecoin. None of those words meant anything to me, but he told me that we were going to be rich if we bought it. And I was like, oh, well, shit, I need to, basically put all of my money into this. Fortunately, I didn't put all of my money into it, but I did put a few $100s into it. And right after the news happened, it tanked, because that's what happens in crypto. So
especially when someone tells you it in a Telegram channel.
Oh, exactly. And it wasn't even like a trading Telegram channel. It was just like some dudes who played World of Warcraft channel. So even less than what crypto Twitter normally knows.
So you know the story, or you know the news got to you post buy-in, essentially.
I was looking at the countdown timer, and it had like 4 minutes left on it. Yeah. So I was definitely behind the curve. So I got into that, and then this was still, though, right around the real peak of the alt season of 2017, maybe the start of the decline. Then I got hooked in with that whole Digibyte Citibank challenge and about how that was going to change the world. Yeah. So I got in on that, too, because that was going to be super cool and put my kids through college.
Yeah.
And it didn't. Spoiler alert.
Not yet.
So, no, not yet. It's coming. I'm still holding those bags. No, I'm joking. So I got into that after I lost another good chunk of money and really started to realize I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I then turned to crypto Twitter, because that's clearly the answer. Switched over to there, and I actually got in with the Wolf of Polynex in his prime at the time. So he had a paid group. I gave him money and said, hey, teach me how to trade. I got into his group, and it was absolute chaos at the time. So I said, hey, man, I'll help you moderate this if you want the help. And he said, sure. So I started moderating with him. That kind of got me behind the scenes. He started helping me with my Twitter account. I started getting in there and talking with people like Donnie Crypto and Zizao and some of those guys like that. And all of kind of those connections helped my account grow. Then it finally got to the point of where I started working real close with Nick Core, who I still work very close with and talk to on almost a daily basis now. And that's who I work with primarily nowadays in our group. So yeah, during all that progression and growth, though, I was doing all the anonymous stuff there, and I was running behind that Doge avatar, and man, I kind of started to learn what market cycles were, and I saw when Doge was down at like 20 sats, I was like, this is insane, either it's going to return here soon, or we're all going to go broke and Doge is no longer a thing. So I did put a substantial amount of money in it, and I started to shill it like crazy on Twitter. So somebody made an offhanded comment and said, man, you're shilling this like you're the CEO of Doge. And so I put that in my title, and it stuck. People just started like DMing me like, excuse me, I can't get into my Dogecoin wallet. I need support on this. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing like this. It's, you can message Jackson, Jackson, and maybe he can help you. But it kind of grew from there. And then as I started to get a little bit more serious with things, and I started kind of doing some business stuff, I went ahead and went public with my side of things, and here we are today.
Yeah, you went. So you had just kind of, for lack of to use the crypto Twitter term, doxed yourself.
Yes.
Fairly recently. What kind of brought you to that conclusion and got you to feel comfortable doing that? So
as far as being comfortable with it, I don't think I really ever cared. At the end of the day. But some different business things that still haven't fully come to fruition, I've kind of gotten in front of those, so it's not so much of a shock when those things come out. And I can't fully talk about them yet, but hopefully by the end of the year, they will be public, and at which point then it'll be well known. Also, there was a project I was going to get involved with that also kind of helped push that forward, but turns out that it wasn't quite, I don't want to put them out there, but it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. So sure. I kind of stepped away from that before it possibly my name got too involved with it. And at that point, I was kind of already public. So I was like, well, can't really go back into it, so here we are.
That's cool. That's
the doxing should be referred to as peeling the potato, by the way.
Yeah, pretty. Exactly. We peeled back some layers.
That's great.
That's funny.
What's behind the name Potato McGruff?
That was just a name that actually used to be a guy back in the day that I played a lot of games with. He used that name for a while, and I actually stole that name from him after we went separate ways forever. And
taking the name.
I did. Well, I mean, we're talking like 1994 or something like that.
Oh,
we were
really?
playing like old games like Doom and stuff like that online, and that was just a name he went by. And so, I don't know. It's just something that I always kind of liked, and I know there's some super awesome story behind it, but it's kind of what happened with it. And so I grew with it, and I've been using it for years now. And then at that point, I just slapped my front name in front of it. My last name isn't McGruff, as big of a surprise as that might be.
You had me fooled. I thought it was.
See, a lot of people seem to think that too. So I've not fully doxed myself. But if you look through like some of my documents and stuff, like where I've posted my military stuff, or like I'm in uniform, you'll see I still black my name out on it. Otherwise, it would say McGruff on it.
Right, that's pretty funny. Anyway, cool, man. So thank you for kind of sharing that story with us. As always, we wouldn't be REKT Podcast if we didn't ask you, kind of to share some of your best crypto REKT stories that you've experienced since joining the space, and kind of, any learning curve kind of things you've experienced. Let's share the REKT with the people.
Yeah, with the exception already of talking about the Litecoin and Digibyte that I already got bit with, that very much the Digibyte taught me about echo chambers. And when you get into like one of those community channels and everyone's saying, it's going to be $100 by the end of the year, and then you learn how to actually calculate supply and things like that, and realize that would be more than the world's like combined incomes together.
Is that not realistic?
Yeah, exactly. No, dudes, it'll totally be, what is it, like $500 and something dollars?
$595 or
that's
whatever
it.
They're called.
Yeah, whatever the hell that effing number is. So the biggest
that would have been a perfect time for you to drop the F-bomb, by the way.
I know, sorry. I even muted my. What am I doing? I'll squeeze one in here in a little bit for you.
Let him fly.
There you go.
And then we were talking about. So the biggest hurdle, I guess, lesson that I've had to eat so far was back in April when we had that last mini alt season, and everyone was convinced that it's the real alt season. We're all about to be stupid rich again. I totally committed to a gigantic Disney vacation that was going to be an insane amount of money, over $10,000 plus. Ooh. And I was like, I could buy that, no problem. And then I looked at my account, and I was like, well, if I take that money out, it can't keep growing, and I can't, double that and then have the vacation pay for itself. So I, didn't take money out of my alts and stuff, and the market tanked, and I'm like, oh shit. So I was able to afford the vacation with things that were in my account, but I had to gut my account pretty good, and it hurt more than anything else as you continue to watch the markets drop and your commitment is in the market. So if there's anything I've ever learned is if I commit to something, I'm taking the money out that day, not waiting. You don't know how the market's gonna. Yeah, you don't let the greed bite you. You don't know how the market's gonna turn. Don't make commitments on things you might have in the future. Only do with what you got currently.
But let's be honest, though.
That's been a tough lesson.
How good does that feel when you got that greed running through your veins?
Oh, it's so good. It's the best thing in the world.
I'm like my body is made up of 40% water, 35% greed, and the rest is beer.
I respect that. I'm an avid beer drinker myself. Yeah. I can respect that.
I was gonna say, by the way, Cincinnati, you've got some cool breweries out by you.
Yeah, we got Rheingeist and Mad Tree are a couple of my favorites.
I think we talked about Mad Tree.
I've been to Rheingeist.
Oh, you have?
Rheingeist is legit.
Yeah, I got a cousin lives just across the border in Kentucky, and we go to Cincinnati once in a while. And he's a big beer guy. He knows I'm not a huge beer guy. I like to taste as close to water as possible. Is that fair?
Oh God!
Just like a half water, half beer mix. would be terrific for me.
So Bud Light, got it.
Right.
Oh, no, I mean like a watered down Bud, like an ice cube Bud Light.
Wow. That's pretty funny.
Well, next time you're in the area, let me know.
Yeah,
I will.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So thanks for sharing your REKT stories. We also, like to get into a little bit, let the people kind of get to know you however you want to let them in, by asking you, what are some real life REKT stories that you'd want to share with the audience. You can interpret that however you want. We've had quite an array. Some really personal stories people have shared with us. Some about a Crypto J Simpson talked to us about a dead body washing up, dead body on his construction site that had a boner.
On the construction site.
Why'd I laugh at that?
Well, and then Chambers
it was
shared
pretty
the dead
hilarious.
body washing up on the shore. So, whatever you want to do here. So, your floor's yours. Share some real life REKT, if you will. I
got a story from my young days in the Navy that immediately comes to mind. And so I was probably 20, 21 at the time. I'm 32 right now, to kind of put that in perspective. But I had come home on leave with a buddy of mine to Louisiana. We went down there for 2 weeks. And when I say Louisiana, we're talking like out basically in the bayou, swamp, no one else around kind of thing. And so, oh yeah, it's getting good, huh? So it gets better. So we get out there, and so he lives in a small town with like 100 people in it, period. And they have like one bar, and it's called the Buckin' Bronco. So this place, one, everybody knows who everybody is. And two, they don't really care about IDs and things of that nature because they have 100 people in their town, and the sheriff's like out there drinking too. So we get out there. It's super, super country hillbilly-ish. And I get in there, and I'm drinking at the bar. And as I go to get a drink or whatever, I'm standing there, this girl approaches me, and she says, hey, I've never seen you around here before. And I was like, oh yeah, my name's Josh, and I'm here with my buddy Mike. She says, oh, you're in here from the Navy, huh? And I said, yeah. She goes, well, I've never fucked a sailor before. I said, oh, well, hello. So yeah.
Well, hello.
And so drinking, the night continues and progresses, and she's continuing to hit on me at this point, and she's okay-ish. And as the alcohol starts to get into it, my limitations of what my standards would be start to decrease, and I start to get warnings from the people that are in the bar. They approach me, they're like, listen, dude, that chick's got a reputation. Her name is Bridget, and you don't really want to be involved with her at all. I tell them all they don't know what they're talking about or whatever, and it's time to wrap up the night. So I don't have a car because I don't live in this area. She says, that's okay, I'll drive us. Cool. Oh, God. So we get into her gigantic pickup truck. She's hammered drunk too, by the way. Don't encourage drunken driving, by the way. Let's put the PSA out there. Yes. But as we continue on, she's now driving down this super country backlit road, swerving all over to where she takes out now because I think I'm going to die. We don't. We pull into a trailer park. And as we pull into the trailer park, the lights are illuminating the trailer. She turns to me and says, you've got my back, right? I said, what? And out the trailer she goes. My God. I'm looking through her mirror, through the windshield, and she jumps up to the trailer and she starts pounding on the door of it, screaming, get your fucking ass out here, you motherfucker, and just wailing on it. I, being 5'6" and about 150 pounds, jumped over the back seat and tucked down into the floorboard. So I hid there until I heard the commotion stop. Luckily, Bubba or whoever lived in this trailer didn't come out. She turns and starts to walk back, and as I see her, I jump back over the seat and sit down, buckle my seatbelt on, and put on my cool guy persona. She comes back in, gets into the truck, and she's like, you had my back. I was like, oh, of course I did. Don't you worry. And she, at this point now, wants to go back to the bar and drink. I'm okay with this because that's where my friend is at. So I said, okay. She takes us back to the bar. And as we pull back into the bar, like the parking lot where everybody's outside drinking, they're all cheering at me and stuff. And I'm like, no, you have no idea how this went down. It was worse. It's terrifying. I didn't get near her, and come to find out that my buddy had left with a girl, and I was now there stranded by myself. So I slept outside the bar until he came back and picked me up in the morning. Goodness. And that was my real life experience of getting wrecked. And maybe next time listen to the crowd around you and stuff like that. So
yeah.
So wait, dude. First of all, fantastic story. Second of all, did you ever find out who or
no idea to this day? It could have been Bigfoot. It could have been nothing. I don't know. That is always a mystery of this world. The Pandora's box that was never opened.
Oh my God!
I suspected someone was coming out with a shotgun or something and was going to end my life. I suspected she was. Again, I'm not a big guy. Like, if you're going to pick somebody from the bar to come defend your honor or whatever, I don't know why I was the prime choice, but. Dude, I'm telling you.
You got my back, right?
Well, my guess is because she asked you if you were in the Navy and you said yes. So she's like, "All right, this guy's at least some sort of a badass."
At least he can.
Do you know how much hand-to-hand combat training we go through in the Navy? None. I would be useless.
Do they? No.
That's so funny. So, my guess, if I'm just like speculating because it's crypto and that's what we do. So my guess would be it's probably an X, and she probably, if she has a reputation like that, maybe she takes everyone home from the bar and
that's
goes
bananas.
I figure she was hosting a fight club or something in there, and just the guy wasn't there that day.
That would actually be pretty cool. I mean, I would never do it because I also have 5'6".
I don't think anybody's ever asked me that before.
You got my back?
Look me
dude,
dead in
and
the eye
it's
and
a
say,
terrifying experience when they do, and you're not expecting it. Like, you expecting a whole different night's going to happen, and it suddenly turns into that. You're like, oh wow, I'm about to have to defend life or something like that.
Not a trailer park nonetheless.
So, you had high expectations and then you ended up sleeping outside of a
was not comfortable
bar, so,
I still remember that over 10 years and change, like it was yesterday.
That's so funny. That is a great story. But anyway, thanks for sharing that. And now we will go right from that to cover some news. So, Chamber, we got a couple news stories today. Want to start us out here?
I sure do. New studies come out. Turns out the demand for crypto for millennials is continuing to rise very rapidly. This is from our friends over at ccn.com.
Our typically one and only news source.
Yeah, typically. Millennials are obviously the front runners when it comes to cryptocurrency. They're the first adopters because they're so cool with their
Makes
avocado toast and fun sweaters.
And fun sweaters.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. That makes sense to me. I was listening to another podcast over the weekend, and I forget which one it was, and I apologize.
How dare you?
I know. Not that I just apologize for not knowing who it was because I want to give them credit. But they were talking about the people, the retail customers coming into crypto, crypto being their first market that they've ever participated in. So it's not people coming from Forex or traditional, whether it's precious metals or stocks or whatever. A lot of the retail customer are first-time market buyers, and obviously the vast majority of those are going to be millennials. So that doesn't shock me that the streak is continuing. What do you guys think about this?
I think that's pretty interesting, and I think that's I think it's a cool thing because it means that if crypto is cool to millennials, then you're going to see people wanting to use it and everything like that. I think it's also a little dangerous because if they haven't ever participated in a market, they are probably more likely to buy into the FOMO,
welcome to the club,
and the hype, and these echo chambers.
What about? We're all about the same age. I would say we're very old millennials. Does that sound right?
I was going to ask, are we millennials?
I think the cut. I look
think
into
we're
this
like
a lot.
at the very end of the cutoff.
Right. I think if you're born like 1982 or 83 or sooner, I think
even though I still think that's garbage because I do not consider myself a millennial.
Right. I feel like the millennials give me a bad name. I work very hard.
For sure.
And I don't want to be pigeonholed with.
Yeah, but
I figure millennials. I also think millennials is just another term that old people keep using. Before it was Gen X. Before that it was hippies. Before, you know what I mean? Like there's always
just like
something.
How Twitter started to categorize all the old people as boomers. All of them.
Yes.
Yeah,
right.
boomers. It took me a while to figure out what that meant.
Everybody.
You're pretty much a millennial or a boomer.
I might be a boomer.
Twitter, that's it. There's nothing in between.
Yep, that's it. Correct.
That's funny.
I do have a lot of millennial tendencies, though. I mean, for not wanting to be classified as one, glued to my phone, glued to Twitter, glued to technology, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
All those things that people say millennials are shitty
I'm guilty as well.
I do all of them.
Well, the older millennials...
I even have a couple fun sweaters.
See? Don't we all? I just got a new one today, actually. Speaking of fun sweaters, with a grizzly bear on the front.
See? Come on. You're definitely a millennial.
Apparently I am.
I think we should start ending each show with a hashtag that people should use when they reference each episode. Today's hashtag will be fun sweaters. Cool. But yeah, I mean, millennials are good for, like, young people are good for crypto, and they're gonna be the ones that are leading the charge, and they're gonna be the ones that are, I think the other thing too is they're gonna be the ones that are also learning how to build on these platforms and use them.
100%.
Like Michael Jackson said, I believe the children are the future.
To them, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is right. So. But so if it's cool to millennials, it's going to be good for us in the future. So maybe they'll be paying for our kids to go to Disneyland.
Somebody do it. It feels like a bear market after you go there.
It's expensive.
Seriously, Mickey Mouse is just a whole different kind. He's
a
paid shill. Now
I get angry when my kids aren't smiling there. I'm like, listen, you know how much we paid for this? You better smile the whole time.
Yeah.
Totally.
Don't forget
We're
this
going
moment.
to Disney World actually in December for Christmas, and with all 8 of our children and us, and it's literally costing us an ungodly
It's
amount
highway
of
robbery.
money.
We looked we compared the price for what we paid for like a Disney vacation. We could have got like an all-inclusive, I'm talking food, travel, hotel, and gone like anywhere in Europe for the same amount of time frame and not paid another dime for it. You get to Disney and you get nickel and dime for water, sunscreen, parking, all that stuff on top of what you've already paid. With that being said, yay Disney!
Yeah, it's my littlest 4. It's their first trip, and they're all at like the perfect age. So I'm like stoked about it and trying.
Clara was way too young to know or even care what was going on. She just sat in a stroller the whole time. My son Jackson's 6, and so he had a good time. And he was like the perfect for it. And we went during the Halloween time, and so he got to see the big. Yeah, the Halloween is really cool.
Good.
And so you got to do the trick or treating, the not so scary Halloween and stuff, and it was a good time. Looking back when I don't look at my bank account.
Right.
Yeah.
Josh, quick question.
I'm the only
for
one
you.
that doesn't have kids.
I was gonna say, you're so lucky. Kids are
Your
great.
bank account's a lot fatter than ours.
Hey, Josh, I have a question for you. You said you had a 6-year-old kid, your oldest. So my daughter, she's 5. We got Christmas coming up. Are you a Christmas guy, or do we do Christmas stuff at your house?
We have Santa and all that jazz, and
Right. Okay. So my question is, your 6-year-old, is he still on the Santa Claus train?
No, he's still on it.
Is he off? All right. He's still. I feel my daughter is being way too suspicious, way too early.
No way, dude. My 12-year-old just found out last year.
My daughter is way too many questions being asked. She's thinking about this too much, and I keep looking at my wife. I'm like, I don't know how long we have before she. I'm gonna break one day and be like, it's all me, it's all my money. Go easy on me with the freaking list.
We still use it as a parenting tool for sure. We just told him the other day when he got in trouble at school, we're like, listen, man, you're going on the naughty list. I'm gonna give Santa a call right now. He's here on speed dial, and
dude, it's the best. End of November and all of December, you're like, look, Santa's just not gonna bring you anything if you don't get your act together.
I'll give you guys a little tip, okay? I just found this out over the weekend. I ordered a shout out to Middle of Beyond, a place where I go buy fun sweaters. Actually, it's another fun sweater segment. I just got a Krampus cardigan for the holidays. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Krampus.
What?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
Krampus eats your children.
So it's basically Santa Claus's brother, but he
Shut
basically
up.
He's the
kidnaps
crazy
and
cousin.
eats the bad kids.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So I've been wearing this around the house all weekend, and it's just like these crazy demon faces on it, and then on the back it's the demon like putting kids into like a burlap sack. And it terrifies her because she thinks that Santa Claus is real. I'm like, oh no, don't worry, Krampus is just a joke.
Santa's real. This guy's a joke. Don't worry about it.
Cry every night. Yeah, this guy is 100% real, but don't worry about the demon guy. But yeah, just get some Krampus stuff and mess with your children.
I have a couple comments here. One, Chamber, I know it's probably a very tough thing for your daughter to already be questioning Santa, but you know what that's called? It's called doing your own research, which she is doing here.
She is definitely doing her own research.
She's DYOR, and
she's not FOMOing into Christmas.
Correct, exactly. She ain't trying to buy the top. She's like,
how crazy is that though? Like when we were kids, you couldn't, jump onto Google and be like, is Santa real? Like, I've never done that. Is there like a site that kind of redirects kids first? It's like, no, bring that traffic over here. He's still real, or how?
I mean, realistically, couldn't they just yell at the phone and say, "Hey, Siri"?
I bet Siri did on it.
Like, so, you think so? 1 second, let me check.
So my dad went through.
Oh God! Don't Google is Santa Claus real? It will destroy their little lives. The top 10 will just shatter reality.
We have to put we already are marked as explicit, so
this is Christmas explicit.
I hope all the parents out there already aren't listening to us with their.
I mean by shatter reality because he's so cool and real.
Well, I'm gonna have to put an extra disclaimer at the front of this show that says, "Hey, don't listen to this with your kids because we spoil."
I'm so sorry to have to be the double exclaimer show.
But I feel like I feel like I'd probably be the Santa of this podcast, and Chamber would definitely be the Krampus because. My dad tricked me. My dad tricked me into believing in Santa until I was like 17 years old.
Really? Good on him.
We would always go to. We lived in Chicago for a while, and we would always go back to New Jersey for Christmas, and we'd stay at my grandmother's. And every time we would come home, there would be gifts there from Santa, and we all got in the car at the same time, and so I'm like, okay, it can't be
fucking
him.
magic. It's obviously magic.
I'm like, how the hell is he doing this? and there would be like good gifts there, like you had to put together. Like one time there was like a Papa Shot in the basement, and with full steps down to the basement.
Amazing.
And the other time there was a bike there, whatever, and so. The Papa Shot time was actually the one that ruined it for me because my next door neighbors we were very good friends with at the time apparently were in on it every year, and they had been putting presents in after we left.
Really?
Yeah. And
that's
so
nuts.
I believed in Santa for
I think I was
far
like
too
10.
long,
My dad got me a four-wheeler for Christmas, which was more for him. But nonetheless, he took me into the garage like right after Christmas, and he's like, I want you to know right now this wasn't Santa, this was me. He's not getting credit for this shit.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing I hate. I'm always so pissed at Santa.
Thanks for getting me nothing, Mom and Dad. I was like, I bought all that shit.
Yeah. Shitty stocking stuffers.
Oh my God! Definitely a 2 disclaimer episode. Sorry, kids. Anyway, I have one more news story here. Since now we're completely off the rails, but no, not your fault.
It was definitely my fault.
Yeah, that was great. It was REKT Krampus over there got us off the rails. Anyway, this story comes from a website that's not CCN. Go figure. BTCmanager.com. Colorado issues 4 cease and desist orders to ICOs. So the Colorado Securities Commissioner Gerald Rome has recently issued an immediate cease and desist to 4 different companies undergoing initial coin offerings. So up until now, this is the 12th one that they've cracked down on, and so this says, the Colorado Department of Regulatory Agencies recently launched an ICO task force, which is pretty crazy to think about, designed to investigate any potential fraudulent activity from cryptocurrency and blockchain-related companies. These companies include Bitcoin Investments, and so these are the names that they just recently cracked out on. Bitcoin Investments, also doing business as DB Capital, Pink Date, Prisma, and Clear Shop Vision. So this is pretty interesting that they've kind of gotten, a task force together for these fraudulent ICOs. And I think it kind of goes from what we were just talking about where,
Is it wrong that I participated in 3 of those 4?
Well, hey, do you know what Pink Date is? Because I'm about to tell you.
Lay it on me.
Hold on. Where did I lose it here? So, oh man, where's Pink Date? I forget.
I'm excited already. Pink Date.
Oh man! The ICO task force. The ICO task force found that fraudulent ICO companies claim extremely high profit percentages and return on investments. As an example, Pink Date, an anonymous worldwide escorting service,
nice,
looking to raise over $5 million through ICOs to create
world's oldest profession
platform token, PDP. Pink Date's white paper noted that investors would receive 50% of net profits through dividends, which would be given which would be given in the form of Bitcoin, Ether, Monero, or Bitcoin Cash. So basically, they're hunting these ones that are definitely.
It seems pretty suspicious.
Definitely securities, because obviously
anything paying you dividends is absolutely a security.
Right. So that doesn't pass the Howie test. #HowieCoins.com. And then the last thing here, Bitcoin Investments, the one company, also mentioned that they had support and endorsement from celebrities such as Carmelo Anthony. So
that guy's about to get his ass kicked off the Rockets. That guy's
I know he can't even stay on a team anymore, and he's pumping security, unregulated securities.
He sees the writing on the wall.
Oh, it's so funny. But anyway, be careful. Do your research. We do, be like Chambers' daughter, DYOR. And we've been doing that no FOMO segment for things, for reasons like this. I think the ICOs are one of, I'm not, editorializing too much here, but ICOs are one of the easiest ways to lose your money if you're not careful, because there's no guarantee at all there. Like, you can't even half the time get out for a loss.
I'm only down 85% of my ship chain ICO.
See, I did one in January too, and that is also down about 90%.
Really? Well, yeah. I mean, even like I was looking at Phantom. That was one of the better ICOs to come out with the best fundamentals, and it's down 50%. It's like 50% of ICO. I mean, you can't win on an ICO right now. You're best just to pick them up on IDEX or whatever.
Totally. But anyway, that's going to do it for us for the news. Let's move into what are we going next? We are going into the crypto draft. So, yes, one of my new favorite segments that we do. We are going down the list of CoinMarketCap in order, and we're drafting different cryptos here. So we're gonna do, what do we say, numbers 24 through 35 today, and so we are going to go in order here. It's going to be standard snake style draft. So we're going to go. The draft order today is McGruff, Bunchu, Chamber, Cynthia. So Cynthia, when you pick your first one, you will also pick your second one, and we'll just go back down the order until we get through all of them. So
we're at 24 through 35, you said?
Yep. So I will read them just really quick so people know what they are. We start at 24 with 0x. Then we go Dogecoin, Decred, Qtum, Ontology, Lisk, Eternity, Zaliqa,
Zilica.
Zilica. I just
Get your
can't
pronunciations right.
Sorry, I got crushed last time for mispronouncing Omise Go. And I just made the comment back. I was like, well, one, thank you for correcting me. Two, you've made it when somebody on the internet is correcting your pronunciation on a podcast.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin Diamond, BitShares, Basic Attention Token, and Nano. So
it's pronounced Nano.
That made me laugh far harder.
Like, are we going to get any profits?
No. Yeah, no. That's hilarious. Well done. All right. So, McGruff,
now, do I honestly think it's going to be the most profitable coin here in the near future? No, but I still can't pass up Dogecoin. It is going on the downside of its market cycle. I don't care. Dogecoin all the way.
You're the goddamn CEO.
I have to stand by my product.
Right.
So we're right, of course. What kind of CEO would you be,
Charlie Lee?
If you didn't pick your own coin? Oh, burn!
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I like Charlie Lee. Let's just make that clear. You threw a clay in the air. I got to shoot at it.
Right, I'm with you there. So, all right. So Dogecoin first off the board here. I'm torn between these two that I want to pick. I think, and I'm gonna go with this. I'm torn between two, but I'm gonna pick this one because we've had him on the show, friend of the show, Marco Piraboom, and I'm gonna go with Decred.
I knew it.
Oh, wait, I did want to mention, though, I've actually won the first two drafts, so, let somebody else
you, fam.
If I have a mediocre... All right. Chamber, you're up.
I'm going to go with 0x.
Yeah, I knew I was leaving that one on the table.
Wow,
That was the
that's
other one
terrific.
Yeah, you got that at third overall. That's
not bad, yeah.
That's pretty good. All right, Cynthia, you picked two now.
Okay, first is BAT, because... Duh.
Yep, okay.
And second is going to be I think I'm going to go with Zill.
Ooh. So I don't really know.
I don't either, to be honest with you.
Do you know what it does? I don't really know what.
I know a lot of people talk about it.
Trading.
Me too, but so maybe Silica.
They're doing something new with sharding and
I heard sharding. I was like, all right, well,
it's with a D. Yes, with a D, Chamber.
Don't like it. It's too close.
Get your Krampus mind out of the gutter.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Chamber,
sorry,
you're up.
It's me now. Okay. Sorry, I got thrown off.
Man, I didn't think Bat was going to go that early. Just
she took
based
it.
On where it was. That was a good pick.
I'm going to go with Ontology.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to end up going then with... Well, I'm gonna go with one that I've seen do a face melting 4x in like an hour last year. I'm gonna go with Qtum.
Got all the way through that, and then it gets taken. That's all right. I'm gonna go with the next absolute clear winner in this list of Bitcoin Diamond, the most use case in the entire cryptosphere.
Wow.
Is that right? I have a bag of crypto.
No, I'm just at this point just picking the most crazy bag possible. Because I honestly, I really don't know. I know what Lisk is. Enterity, or somebody will murder me for mispronouncing that.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is. Well, to be honest with you, a lot of the coins I trade, I have no clue what they do. I only trade them because of the... Yeah, exactly. So
you trade the chart.
Bitcoin Diamond's made me money before. And sometimes some of the scammiest coins pump the hardest, so...
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose...
No, Qtum's actually legit.
I'm a scam. I'm just saying I've seen it do a 4x.
And that's the reason why I was going to pick it is because it's a legitimate use case product. And aren't they the ones that just partnered with AWS here not too long ago, or something news related to that? So
that is correct.
Anyway.
Yep. Well, speaking of Christmas, it's your turn again. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, we'll go with Lisk. Why not?
All right. That was a good pick, I think. Let's see here. So I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with BitShares.
Damn it!
I love that's the most satisfying thing of doing a draft is making a pick and then somebody behind you saying "damn it," because you know at least
like, oh, it must be good then.
You know. Yep.
Right.
All right, Cynthia, you got Ordo Chamber. You're up.
I am gonna go with. So we're going to 35.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
So really, the only ones left to choose
are
Nano.
Yeah, Nano
and Eternity.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going with Nano.
Damn
formerly, what was it before? Formerly.
Yes.
I can't remember what it was before. It was.
I want to say Dragon Chain, but
that is not correct. That is not correct at all.
But Shield a la Dragon Chain. What was it before? Anyways, we'll figure it out.
I will look that up right now. So Cynthia, you are
Eternity.
Yeah. So
which, by the way, I looked it up, and it is a scalable blockchain platform that enables high-speed transacting, smart contracts, and decentralized oracles coded in. You're right. Yeah, for sure.
I would have got 2 or 3 of
thinking.
those.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
All right. So before I get the final tally here, Nano was Ryblox.
I remember that.
Rayblocks. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Rayblocks. Yeah.
Yes, and that had like one of the most disgusting returns of anything
Yes, it did.
in the last market. I think it went from like 20 cents
Insane.
to $5 or something. Or no, I think it went up to like $16. Something crazy, insane stuff. So we have McGruff with Doge, Bitcoin Diamond, and Lisk. We have myself with Decred, Qdom, and BitShares. Chamber with a very strong 0x, Ontology, and Nano.
Oh yeah,
and,
that's nice.
Cynthia with Bat, Zill, and Eternity. So
that one's to me. That's Cynthia's a
dark
scary.
horse bag. Yeah, that's a dark horse one. I have a feeling McGruff's going to win because he's going to get
the cult following.
Especially when he retweets the poll. Like, there's no way. I think he's going to slam dunk on us, but you never know.
We're playing for a second.
Yeah, we'll put this out in the Twitter poll tomorrow, and you can vote on them. But for now, we will go into the REKT index.
Brutal, savage, REKT.
So, the REKT index is our REKT Podcast Index Fund. We actually started this way back, I guess, July. We actually started putting our money where our mouth is and taking some recommendations from our wonderful trading guests. And so we're going to give you, McGruff, a chance to give us 3 projects that you're interested in or that you think are going to perform well over the next recent time frame here. And we're actually going to put our money where our mouth is and see how we do it. But before we do that, Chamber, do you got an update for us?
I sure do. So on the week, we're down on BTC, unfortunately, about 3.5%. But
it's a rough week.
It's a tough week. Overall, we're up 29.8% in the BTC value.
So our traders are killing it.
They're not doing half bad.
Well, so I will say this though: when we did start the fund, we were pretty much at the low of the low. So anybody who was giving us picks in July or a little later than that.
Yeah, it was hard to miss. Yeah,
could throw a dart, and our poor, anyone earlier than that got wrecked.
But we've had just to kind of give you an update on some of the ones that have powered through. So obviously we got Quant at the top, Tomo at the top. Another coin that has slowly rise the ranks is Wax. Wax has had a very solid run over the last week or so. So.
Very cool. I will say, McGruff, we have been trying to do some proper risk management and sell these when they've done really well. I think we got the Dogecoin recommendation from BitLord.
Yes.
And it went we 2x'd it right at the top.
2 weeks. Yeah, it was 2 weeks before it pumped.
We 2x'd it and we got out of there pretty quick. And so that was our profitable bag that we've sold.
Awesome.
So you're welcome.
So
what do you got for us?
Are you guys looking for something FA wise, or just doesn't matter?
It could be either anything you want, as long as you kind of have a explanation for it.
And we can buy it on an exchange of some sort.
Yeah, it's got.
So I can't just spin up a token real quick.
Purchase.
Got it. So something that I've been looking at and actually just started accumulating a bag of myself is fun. If you take a look at it. And you can look at the large time frames, like a 3-day or 1-day chart, zoom all the way out on it. It looks like it's pretty much hit rock bottom from where it pretty much was at and is entering an accumulation zone. The CMF is a favorite indicator of mine. On the larger time frame, the bullish pressure is building on that. So I'm not saying it's going to pop today or next week, but my trading style, I like to find these, accumulating style coins. Make a purchase, set an alarm, and walk away. And when the alarm goes off, cool. Take that and plant it into something else that's in a similar phase and hasn't done that yet. So another one that's similar to that. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question there? Could you explain maybe for anybody who might not know out there, aka me, what is the CMF?
CMF is Chalkin money flow. I might be pronouncing that first word wrong, but nonetheless, it's basically literally the flow of money. It's a volume-based indicator, and so you can see. I'm a lot of times working with Nick Core. Something he's kind of ingrained with me is that volume will precede price action. So it's another volume indicator where you can see kind of the bullish pressure versus bearish pressure of a coin. You can do divergences off of it. So if you take a look really at my Twitter and find any of my accounts or any of my TA postings, you'll see the CMF's the big green kind of blobbish area that's on there. And again, that's showing kind of as it moves up or down the strength between the bears and the bulls. That's one of my favorite indicators to kind of use to kind of measure the strength of a trend. So another coin, though, that's kind of in that same area of fun where it's pretty much, since it went through that big alt spring, it's come all the way down and made a full retrace, and it's kind of already established a support is LISK. That's another spot that's pretty much rock bottomed out. Yeah. Pure luck.
Your draft pick.
But and a third coin, I am bullish on XLM right now, and that's only because my gut says Coinbase first over ADA or Zcash. I don't know that. It's just it's a lot of stuff has kind of been bleeding. A lot of stuff really hasn't been doing a whole lot, or has been kind of sideways. And XLM's been steadily moving up, and it's a solid product anyway. So I always keep my eye on it, and I have a bag of that right now too that I've been rolling with. I fully plan on, whenever the Coinbase announcement happens, rolling that into ADA and Zcash, which I have small positions in, but my larger of those packs are currently at XLM.
So have you just been kind of
without a doubt, yeah. That's basically was free money. It was a roadmap to free money when Coinbase said, here's the coins we're looking at. I took positions in all of those and just kind of waited. And as one pops, take those profits and spread them into the rest of the coins that haven't yet, and rinse and repeat.
Have you any thoughts? I mean, you've been around long enough to kind of see some former or any thoughts on kind of the strength of these Coinbase pumps?
Terrible compared to the past.
Expecting something maybe a little bigger, right? I think I saw a tweet from
I've tweeted something like not too long ago that it used to be a Coinbase listing, or even like a rumor of a Coinbase listing. Somebody would make that weird. You see the one goes around all the time where people say, like, if you go into the search part of Coinbase, you can find coins. Man, when that first hit the streets, though, people were just throwing all their money into it, and you'd get like a 4x in an hour. And then, it'd come crashing right back down afterwards, but that's what Coinbase pumps used to do. I don't know if that's because we're on the a bear market and the tail end of it still or whatever, and so we're not seeing those results. I suspect that's what it is. People are afraid to just put their money in things, or maybe the craze is over. People just don't care anymore. Former, yeah,
hope
I
it's
agree.
the
Even
former, not the
Binance
latter.
pumps, you know, when people started to list those aren't nearly as explosive as they used to be, in my opinion. But again, I think that's just a lot of the market being nervous and not sure if they're going to get burned. And every time one doesn't pump, it just keeps reinforcing that, you know, that psychology of it didn't pump last time, it's probably not going to pump this time, and just each one it gets a little weaker and weaker.
Yeah, I hear you. But anyway, awesome. Thank you for those. We are going to buy those and keep an update on them, and hopefully, make some money.
Hopefully,
we'll see. Hopefully. Anyway, but that's gonna do it for kind of our segments and everything like that. But we definitely want to give you a chance to kind of mention anything that you're working on, where people can find you, anything like that.
Sure.
That you want to
you can
talk
find
about.
me on Twitter or on Instagram at Josh McGruff, and as well as inside of my Twitter account, you'll see a link to the group that I helped co-found called the Bitcoin Masons. It is just a free educational-based group. We're not like a signals group. You can come in there, you can ask questions. We have links to educational tools. We have articles we've written, things of that nature. Our idea behind that is if we educate the community in the market and make it much smarter, it's easier to predict at the same time too. You don't have the panic, you don't have the weird craziness. TA works better if everybody's kind of doing the same thing. So let's teach people TA kind of thing, if that makes sense. And again, our mindset behind that too is to kind of put the paid groups out of business by giving away for free.
Sure,
There you go.
Chamber,
Cool.
you better join that.
But I'm in so many paid groups as it is.
We can't put Cynthia's
They're relying
kids out
on
of
me.
business.
Yeah.
Right?
We can't put Cynthia's
My
child
bad.
army out of business.
Oh, you can switch over to shoes or something, I suppose.
No, that's it.
Handbags.
Yeah, shoes, whatever.
It's an easy transition.
You know what you could make, Cynthia, because it sounds like Disney's making a lot of money. They might need somebody to do those, Mickey Mouse hats with the engraving and stuff.
I don't hate on the people
The
who have
embroidering.
paid groups and things for real. Like I said, I got started with one. That's how I learned. And sometimes people like to pay that money because they feel that, one, they're going to get more attention. Two, it cuts down on all the freebie noise. And people want somebody who they feel is a subject matter expert that they've put their value into to sometimes confirm what they already know. So I don't hate on them if anybody out there's listening who runs a group. Like I said, I grew up in one, so Godspeed.
Very cool. Awesome. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm all set. It's been a lot of fun.
Out of here. Cool. So just a couple of housekeeping items from us over here. Please subscribe, rate, review us on iTunes. All of that stuff goes a very long way. As I always say, 5 stars if you love us, 4 stars if you hate us. Leave us some ideas for a hashtag fun sweater. Tell us when you stopped believing in Santa, and you can make fun of me for believing in Santa till I was 17 because I'm
magical.
Because my dad was a psychological manipulator. And also, I did just want to mention from our sponsors, we're obviously sponsored by Beaksy Exchange, the new exchange coming out. So we definitely want to mention they have their token sale running until the end of the week. We're actually going to have a interview with them that we are recording tomorrow, which is going to be awesome. So you've heard us talk about it, you've heard us tweet it, or you've seen us tweet about it. I think I've seen you tweet about it a couple times as well, Josh. So definitely something you're interested in too. We're going to have them on recording tomorrow, so you're going to be able to kind of hear all the features and benefits that they have, and what hopefully will make them one of the new biggest competitors out there in the exchange space. So we'll have that for you as well. But I did want to mention, don't forget to head over to Open Token and check out their token sale that's going on from now until the end of the week. And if you haven't already registered, Beaksy.com/register. That's going to do it for us. Anything you want to add, Chamber?
No, just see that dark time is coming. It's getting dark.
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
early now.
Hate it.
Oh, I hate it.
All right. Okay, get yourselves some sunlight once in a while. I'm stuck in a cave most of the time. That is my basement. And I spent basically the entire day in the dark. And when I arose from my cave, it was pitch black outside and at 5:30 in the evening. So get out there, get some exercise, guys. Winter's coming, but that doesn't mean we can't go out and enjoy ourselves. So get out there, unless you're in
just
Florida.
continue living.
This is the best time of the year. Just
like
do your thing.
Cynthia.
Us Northerners have to survive the winter.
It's still
supposed to
80
snow here
degrees
tonight,
here, so
yeah.
Yeah, it snowed at my house over the weekend, so that's awesome. So, but we're going into hibernation. Cynthia's going to be at the beach.
I'm at the beach.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Cynthia, anything you want to add before we get going?
No, I need to get a good night's rest. I'm headed to the beach early in the morning.
Shut up.
Oh, that's so funny. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Josh. We appreciate your time, and
it's been a lot of fun.
We hope you had a good time with us. Yeah, absolutely. And again,
Thanks,
happy Veterans
Thank
Day.
you again.
Thank you
for your service.
Yep.
Yeah.
And as always, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.